Hello, my name is Hannah Neva Glick. I've done this artwork for the Anti-Defamation League. It's titled Education Equals Life, and it's 21 inches by 17 inches. It's in the style of steampunk art. What's that? Well, it's a subgenre of science fiction, if you can imagine an alternative history of the 19th century, Victorian times or post-apocalyptic future where steam power has regained mainstream use. You find anachronistic technologies, retrofuturistic inventions, as people in the 19th century would have imagined them. In a lot of steampunk art, you'll find clock watch parts, which is actually very appropriate for this piece, since time is of the essence when it comes to education. What I'd like to do is take you in closer so you can appreciate the properties of the 3D artwork. So, why the soldier, you might ask? Well, anybody who works for a good cause towards humanity is considered a soldier of God. And these camouflage buttons, different sizes representing different ranking soldiers, working in harmony, because it takes more than one for such an important mission. That's a genuine compass, and since the dawn of man, there's always been that snake-like figure lurking, waiting in the bushes to throw a wrench in the works. So I altered an alligator clip. These other parts I bought from the hardware store. And there's a miniature wrench in its mouth. And a circular saw blade in her hair to attack it at the right moment. This is a hot air balloon. That's the world. And the sandbags I made from seashells. And here you have clock parts and other items falling out. The basket representing time flying away. The magnifying glass is used to represent certain periods in history which we study hard, scrutinize in order to prevent them from happening again. There you have an egg timer. That's the theme of time again. And I made this quill using an ostrich feather and a railroad pen nib. The music notes here are for the song Hava Nagila. Here's some key words. Education, outreach, communication, love, respect, equality, unity, harmony, trust, inspiration, compassion, cooperation, justice, and civil rights. I must say I do not give permission to other artists to copy my ideas. I made this steampunk spider using various materials such as Fimo and electrical components and gears. As with this steampunk bee, this key actually does go with this padlock. I have them in what appears to be molten metal, sunken into molten metal. And this Hebrew letter here is the Lamed. Now, I chose the Lamed because it stands for Lelamed, to teach, and Lilmod, to learn. Here you have clock part, that's the theme of time with gears. You have tire tracks, which is important because with education, in most cases, travel is required at some stage. Some silver roses in cups. And education is the key to life. So this fencing technique I used is there because with education, in a lot of cases, there's a lot of barriers put up. But once you overcome those barriers, you get life, which is Chai, Chet Yud. Now, there's something quite beautiful hidden in this painting. I don't know if you've spotted it yet, but I'll take you through it. Here's a hint. Concealed in the sky, which I used metallic blue for the sky, are the letters Yud and Mem, which spells Yam, which means ocean. Ocean brings rain, which brings Chai, life. So if we move this back, you can see something quite beautiful. Here we go. L'chaim, l'chaim, which means to life.